and I am in Bloomington, Minnesota. I've been a Send Out Cards distributor since 2015, and I operate a company called Tustoria that creates photo gifts and custom cards for businesses. And so part of the reason why I got involved with Send Out Cards is so that I could use this system, this very powerful business system, to support my clients. And so it's not unusual when I meet a business that needs help with their marketing that I'll introduce Send Out Cards to them, and I can design card campaigns for them, or just show them how to use the system and let them run with it. So it's been very exciting, and I'm just really thrilled to be a part of Send Out Cards. I went to the conference last fall, and I just think this is really so great that this is going to be my retirement income. So I just love working the business, and I love you guys, and it's great to see you again.
Yay! Awesome. Thanks, Pam. Sue's waving, all excited. All right, Adele, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Oh boy. Okay, I'm Adule Chris. I joined Send Out Cards just last year in November, October. And the reason I got into it was basically I love sending cards. I don't like e-cards. I don't like the electronic cards. So I'm old school. And that's what got me to Send Out Cards. And when I got into it, I realized, oh no, there's a business part of it. So, and that's got me more interested. And so I decided to take up the business part just about 3 months ago. So, yeah. And I'm based out of Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Manitoba. Great.
Yep.
Team Infinity has gone international, folks.
Wow.
Yeah. Adule, is Tracy your sponsor?
No, actually, Michelle, who is sponsored by Tracy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Michelle Zoski.
Okay, Zoski. Yeah, that's right. All right, Eileen, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Eileen. I'm in Lawrence, Kansas. What else was I supposed to say? Let's see. I been with Send Out Cards for 2 weeks, I think, and I'm probably on the verge of 3 of probably being a distributor. Just have had some great conversations. But really, I think I joined because I guess there's 2 things. I've been kind of searching for something that kind of gives me a little bit of joy in the days that I have that are very busy and overwhelming and all that. And I just like the connection that comes from cards. I always am thrilled to get stuff in the mail, whether it's just a little postcard or something. And it just, I thought giving a little smile to others by just doing that was a big plus. And then since it's a business opportunity, that's a bigger plus. So just excited to be a part of this, and I just love connecting on these calls too. So thank you. Hi, everybody.
Yay. Eileen was sharing with me before you all jumped on that one of the cards she sent last week to a business owner, he asked her, how did you do that? So she's pretty excited. Next week she gets to show her first person Send Out Cards.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yay.
Way to go, Eileen.
Yeah, way to go, Eileen.
Yay.
All right. Let's see. Most of you know me, Tracy Runge. I am in Kearney, Nebraska, and my husband and I own a window tinting business, and that's how we were introduced to Send Out Cards. And we use the system to stay in touch with our customers and our vendors and our friends and family and my team members. And I am like Pam. This is our retirement plan. So, and not only that, and I tell people this all the time, I would be Send Out Cards cheerleader of the year, even if I never made a penny off of it, because I just think it's a phenomenal organization, and I love all the people that I have met since I have been introduced to this company. So I am going to let Sue take the floor now, because she has a fun little story to share with us about this week and some of the meetings that we've had.
Well, we did have a pretty interesting week. Tracy and I took a road trip to Lincoln on Tuesday, and we had our first meeting was with Ashley Rediger, who hopefully will be on one of these calls soon. She's a new distributor, and she owns a sunroom building construction company. And so we were helping her put some campaigns together, and she talked about possibly coming to Houston with us also. So that's exciting. And then just as Ashley left, a young man who's an entrepreneur came for the second meeting. I had showed him send out cards months ago on one of the world's worst ever Zoom demonstrations, which literally took 2 hours because the technology kept failing. The send out cards technology and the Zoom technology failed every chance it got. It's just because I was there and touched it, I suppose. But he in spite of the fact that the technology was a disaster, he thought it was interesting. But in the meantime, he has got divorced. He's moved. He has started a new business and got rid of one of his businesses, started a new one. He's an insurance agent, and then also is doing a custom men's clothing business on the side, where he goes to men's houses, measures them, and orders their custom suits and shirts, etc. So it's quite interesting. And he told me before he came that he just absolutely was not going to do send out cards, but he'd be happy to have coffee with us. So by the time we were done having coffee, I got out my phone, and close to the end, I got out my phone and said, well, I'm going to send you a card thanking you for meeting me today. So I sent him a card with my phone, and he looked at that and he said, show me that again. And I showed him how I did it. And he said, okay, I can't do it this month, but next month I'm in. So we've got, his name's Eddie, and super nice guy. I hope he becomes a distributor because you guys will love Eddie.
You will love it.
And then we had a demonstration that we were supposed to have with 50 realtors, which ended up being 7, counting the one who invited us. Because someone else decided to do a meeting at the same time at Valentino's, which is a statewide famous pizza place around here. So everybody else went for pizza. I brought cookies, lots and lots and lots of cookies. There was like a dozen cookies per person. And no lie. But I did my demonstration just like Steve taught me, and there was some interest, so it was good. And then the person who invited me was Osman, and I don't know if you guys remember him, but he was on the call a couple weeks ago. He's a realtor in Lincoln and was on the call on his phone a couple weeks ago. So he said, when you guys get done with your day, come back. So we went to meet an insurance agent, a young man who's just getting started, and demonstrated to him. And he's not the decision maker. He has to show it to his boss. So we kind of left that in limbo. And then we hooked up with Osman again. And after talking to him for, what do you think, Tracy, an hour and a half maybe, he decided to be a marketing bundle distributor. And then we did some training with him before we came home. And we got home at 9 o'clock at night, I think, on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. So
an hour day.
It was exhausting. Well, then on Wednesday morning, I had my BNI meeting at 7, and we had guests at BNI. And so one of the guests was this guy from a construction company that I have been talking to since October. And the lady who was our marketing director just kept blowing me off. So I pretty much had just written them a, I don't ever want to talk to you again email because you're rude. and then I found out from the guy who was at our BNI meeting that lady has quit. So I got on the phone today and tried to get in touch with the boss again. So I'm working on that account again. But then I went straight from my BNI meeting to meet with 3 insurance agents who have an office here in town, and they actually have 3 offices throughout the state. And they're in the process of revamping their marketing, and that looks extremely promising. So then I came home and sent cards to all those people, and that took me the rest of Wednesday. So, so today I rested.
Wow.
And then went ballroom dancing.
So yeah, actually today I didn't rest that much. I created some custom branding for some of the new people, and did a lot of follow-up calls. And one of the follow-up calls was to a local realtor who is actually homesick, but we talked for 10 minutes anyway. And she wants to meet up again when she feels well. So it's been a pretty good week in send out cards.
Yay!
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
awesome.
amazing how many people you have to meet with and how many times you have to meet with them. I mean, it seems like we'll go like this for a while. And I'm telling you this so you don't get discouraged, because you'll go like this for a while and you'll have 20 people on the fence. And it just seems like nobody's pulling the trigger. And then all of a sudden, something happens and a bunch of people decide to move one way or another. And when that happens to people, it seems like they're having instant success. And you see them on Facebook and they just signed up 3 distributors, and you think, well, what do they have that I don't have? And they don't have anything that you don't have. They've just been following up with these people week after week after week. And sometimes just coincidentally, a bunch of people will pull the trigger at the same time, and it looks like somebody's really hot. But I'm here to tell you there's no such thing as hot. Well, maybe there's a couple of people, but I don't know. I don't understand their world. But in the normal world, there's no such thing as hot. You just work, and then sometimes things fall into place. And this week they seem to fall into place, but there's been lots of weeks that they haven't. So I don't want anybody to feel discouraged because maybe you're not seeing the success that other people are seeing, because you will if you keep after it.
Yep. That is absolutely true. So Sue kind of touched on something interesting. I don't know how many of you listen in to Jordan's calls every week. Sue and I don't typically listen to them live. We use them when we're traveling because we live in rural Nebraska where we're 2 hours from life, basically. So we travel a lot. So we're on the road a lot. And so we use Jordan's calls so that when we're on the road, it's time well spent, and we use it for education time. So Jordan's calls are great. You can go back and listen to any of his replays on thecoolbuzz.com. We just listened to the 2 Mark Herdering calls. I will tell you that the one with the 2 realtors, there was absolutely nothing to do with realtor business.
With realty, yeah.
But it was very inspiring because basically these 2 guys were telling about how network marketing was, so inspirational and did so much for them. And the one guy became a realtor because of his send out cards business. So that was pretty cool. But the Mark Herdering call, where it's basically just Mark telling his story. And Eileen, for your benefit, Mark Herdering is the one that wrote the book I just sent you.
Yeah. Okay.
Phenomenal book. If you have not read the book, Hanging Out for a Living, do yourself a favor and order it tonight and read it. Take notes, study it, live it. It's life-changing.
And read over and over.
Yeah. Do you like it, Adule?
Yeah, I'm reading it a 3rd time, and each time I read it, it's as if I'm reading it afresh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great book. And, I will tell you, Sue and I we're the best partners in the world because we're so completely different and we do business completely different. And when Sue is persistent, I am standoffish. And when I am persistent, Sue is standoffish. And so you put the 2 of us together and nobody's going to get away from us. We're going to be on you. And when we went to see Osman, I told her as we got out of the car, I said, I'm not getting back in the car until he's a marketing distributor.
And she meant it.
Every word of it. I meant every word of it. And so I literally walked around his desk to his phone and said, all right, let's do it. Upgrade your account. Here's the upgrade button. Let's do it. And we did it. But
what's funny is that we've been talking to him for maybe a year.
Oh, more than a year.
Yeah. And so it's been a relationship that's been growing over time, and it's been fine. And and he had a lot of things going on and he wasn't quite ready. And he wasn't 100% sure Tuesday if he was ready. And I was about ready to walk out and go, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. And Tracy's just like, nope, we're doing this right now. So she bakes, and I just sat there and took a few deep breaths because I'd had quite the day and I needed to take a few deep breaths. So I just took a few deep breaths and Tracy just jumped in and closed the deal. And then she took a few deep breaths while I jumped in and did some training.
Yep.
So it is really fun to have a partner to run with. If you guys can find someone in your area to hang out with and do presentations with, it really makes it a lot more fun.
That it does. That it does. So, okay. Last week, we all discussed which Promptings Academy we were going to go to. So Pam, you missed that. Everyone else on the call said which one they were going to. Sue and Eileen and I are going to Houston. Adule, you said you were going to try to go to Houston as well. So Pam, you pick a Promptings Academy somewhere in the globe.
Somewhere warm in the winter.
Well, right? I know. I just came from a freezing cold soccer game and I can't even hold my toes right now. So I get ya. So right now I'm warming myself with the thoughts of Houston in July.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that'll be warm.
Yeah.
Very warm. I will be in the AC at that one.
Yeah, going to Houston in July is really not a sign of sanity at all.
It's really not. But hey, you know what? The 2 years that we had the Send Out Cards convention in Vegas, they were in August and it was like 128.
It was horrible.
So
Wow.
that was insanity is what that was. I literally came home with blisters on the bottom of my feet from those. Yeah, that was good times. But so if Pam, if you do look at your calendar and Houston works for you in July, I have reserved 2 hotel rooms. And so far it's just Sue and Eileen and I. Ashley may join us. She may not. I know for a fact Amanda is not. I haven't checked with Jackie yet, but Tracy is probably not joining us either. So
Okay.
if there are more than 3 of us, we'll have 2 rooms and we can spread out. But if it winds up to just be Eileen and Sue and I, we're just going to cancel and just have the 1 room. But
Okay.
Well, here's the cool thing, you guys. Right before we went to sign up Osman, I said, I don't know a single person in Houston. I can't imagine who I'm going to get to Promptings Academy. I don't even know anybody in the state of Texas, let alone Houston. And so we walk in and after he signed up as a distributor, we told him about our trip to Houston. And he goes, Houston, that's my home base. I know everybody there. And I'm going, oh my gosh. Now we have the Houston hookup. So we might be getting some guests to this Promptings Academy after all.
yeah.
Oh,
So
good for you. That's great.
awesome. And her Paula Positive partner told her she would find people in Houston and to just do it. And
I'm going to be working LinkedIn like a mad person. So
Good.
looking for connections in Houston.
Yep. So let's see. Tracy she didn't give me any topics tonight or a challenge or anything. So I think for this week, I'm going to challenge you all to maybe tell us a little bit about a book that you have read, since we were all talking about hanging out for a living and how great of a book that is. Whether it's a Send Out Cards distributor that's written a book or someone else that's written a personal development or business book that has given you some little nuggets that you think are important. Maybe bring a few of those with you next week and share those with the team. 2 or 3 little nuggets that you can share in the name of the book. And I think that'll be the challenge for this week. So
That's a great challenge. I want to alter it just a hair.
sure.
If anybody listens to Jordan's call replays, if you get nuggets from those count also.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and definitely go back over that list. I know a few weeks ago I assigned 2 of Jordan's calls for everybody to listen to that Sue and I just were like, they rocked our world. We listened to them twice in a 4-day period because they were just so, but So go through those and just every once in a while pick, like we love to listen to them when we're in the car because they're 30 minutes long. And so, no matter where you're going, you can listen to a whole call usually. And we really like those. So just occasionally go through the list and even listen to some that you've listened to before. Listen to them again because sometimes you find you pick up stuff the second or third time that you didn't hear the first time. Sometimes Sue and I are still processing something that blew our minds and we missed something. And then the second time we listen to it, we're like, I didn't even hear that last time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to make a plug too for Jordan's call. Yeah, I think it's really great if you can make it a weekly habit to listen to it because, I don't listen to it on Monday nights either. I'm busy, but to be able to listen to it on a 15-minute ride one way and then finish it off on the way back, always. And then it'll just start becoming a habit, and his calls are always worth our time.
Yeah.
Always.
Average.
And another one that Sue and we started this one on our way home Tuesday night, but we didn't get it finished, Darla DeGrande. And we started that one and it was really long. And so we were kind of hesitant to listen to it. But we got 2/3 of the way through it, maybe. And it's Darla's story. And so it's not necessarily, I didn't get any nuggets out of it for building a send out cards business, but really hearing her story was very inspirational to hear everything that she overcame and just to hear her stick-to-itiveness and the power of positive thinking and just her network marketing belief, I think, was valuable. And I haven't finished the call yet, but I do want to I'll probably finish that before next week so that if there's some nuggets in there, I can share those with you. But I really enjoyed her story, particularly because we had some parallels that were very similar. And she actually lives in my hometown of San Diego. And so it was kind of fun to hear. She was a traditional business owner and, everything kind of went in the tank in 2008 when the economy took a turn for the worse. And that's when we were introduced to send out cards, was after the economy tanked and it hurt our window tinting business. So that was kind of cool. But so Jordan's calls, listen to a couple of those, get some nuggets, bring to us the title of your favorite book that you've gotten some nuggets out of and share a few of those nuggets. And if you are not already registered for a Promptings Academy in the year 2017, do that this week. Register for a Promptings Academy. And Sue and I are so serious. We have already purchased airplane tickets and reserved hotel rooms and bought tickets. So, yeah. So
we're going.
We're on it.
We're going. So how much time do we have, Tracy?
We have about 5 more minutes.
Okay, so I had a takeaway from Darla's talk that I found very interesting. You know how you show send out cards to people all the time and they make it sound like a $195 is a lot of money. and Darla used to own a group of high-end day spas in San Diego, and she put $500,000 into one day spa, and she gave $200 haircuts. So she doesn't blink at the thought of someone spending $200 or $400 to join send out cards. She thinks that's practically free. And I think that some of her success is the fact that I think that she just projects that expectation that, oh my God, I'm giving you something that will blow your mind, will change your entire life, and it's practically free. It's less than the cost of a haircut. and so when I hear her talk, because I talked to her at convention and I'm going, well, how do you do it? And she says, it's just posture. My expectation is I've got something, you want it, and it costs almost nothing. So what are you waiting for? And after hearing her story, it really made sense. And she said that she started having success in send out cards when she started imagining that the same $500,000 she put into her spa, which eventually failed because of the recession, if she put that same $500,000 into her send out cards business, how would she treat it? And when she started treating it like she put $500,000 into it, then she started to really thrive.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
kind of an interesting story.
That was really the biggest nugget that I took from it was she literally showed up every day like it was an 8 to 5 job. And that's something I really admire about Sue is she's all about that. And even when she was still a pediatrician full time and helping her daughter run a boutique and running her Mary Kay business, she still on Tuesdays on her day off, that was her send out cards day. She went to the Y, she did her workout, she came home, she had appointments every single week, whether it was with the team member, whether it was to show someone the system, whether it was to help someone get started. She treated it like a business, even though it was on her one day off. And so that's something that I think most of the time we fail to do because we see it as our side gig, but you know, it's really not. It's not our side gig. It's our futures. Like, you know, Pam and Eileen and myself, we all see this as the way out of the rat race, you know, the way out of having to show up for somebody else, but now we can show up for ourselves. So that was, I'm glad that you shared that, Sue, because that was the biggest thing I took from Darla was treat it like a traditional brick and mortar business that you've invested your heart and soul and life savings in, because it definitely has the potential to pay like
that business.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, does anybody else have anything else they need to say?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Tracy, for hosting the meeting tonight. You always make it really interesting and very helpful, and thanks for your input, Sue. And welcome Eileen, and I wrote down your name, Adelaide.
Adelaide, yeah.
Welcome. You guys are going to have lots of fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you're already
Seriously,
having
it's going
fun.
to be
Thanks.
awesome.
Here's to Houston.
Yes.
I'm just glad that you guys are making a commitment to be on this call because Tracy and I would be pretty bored if we just had to talk to each other.
Talk every day. So.
Yeah.
No, thank you for hosting. This is always good.
Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it very much. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week. Thanks,
All
guys.
All right.
Good night.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Good night.